Welcome to the FI Newscast, your premier source for food and beverage industry news. Today is Friday, August 11th, 2023. I'm your host, Brittany Borer, and today our special guest is Andrea Fletcher, brand director at Emerald. We'll hear from her a bit later in the show. Right now, let's cover some of the top stories from this week so far. We start off with some troubling news in the meat industry. Tyson Foods reported a less than stellar performance on its third quarter, with net sales falling by 3% below Wall Street estimates. The company has been hit by a storm of factors such as high feed and labor costs, incorrect predictions on the poultry market, as well as shrinking profits. Tyson announced it will close down 4 processing plants as it reevaluates operations. In contrast, supermarket giant Ahold Delhaize reported strong results in its second quarter, citing a nearly 3% rise in U.S. sales. The Netherlands-based company runs several American market chains among its multiple brands, including Stop & Shop and Food Lion. CEO Franz Mueller is confident that they see evidence of inflation passing its peak, but concern remains about its lingering effects on various overhead costs. The July CPI report came in yesterday morning from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Although overall inflation ticked up in July, some relief was seen in food prices. The BLS reported a 3.2% increase in top-line inflation on an unadjusted basis for the month, but food inflation slowed to 4.9%, with both food at home and food away from home prices cooling when compared to June. BLS said the index for shelter was the largest contributor to the top-line inflation, accounting for over 90% of the increase. Is the fast food dining room becoming a thing of the past? According to the data company Circana, only 14% of QSR orders were eaten in the restaurant for the month of June this year, compared to 22% in 2015. And more companies seem to be shifting towards business models that turn away from dine-in options. Case in point, Chipotle's digital kitchens called Chipotlanes. There are currently several hundred Chipotlane kitchens in the US, and the company's latest earning report showed that digital sales made up 38% of their total sales. However, some restaurants are still investing in dining rooms. The Wall Street Journal reports that McDonald's and Burger King are spending millions in modernizing their dine-in restaurants to accommodate their customers who still prefer the tray over the takeout bag. On Monday, the Campbell Soup Company announced that it acquired Sovos Brands for an enterprise value of nearly $2.7 billion. Campbell's paid a premium valuation for the acquisition, representing a 14.6 times adjusted EBITDA multiple. In a research note, RBC Capital Markets analysts said that they understood investor concern around the deal as confidence in CPG fades. That said, RBC supported the rationale behind the acquisition and found it consistent with the company's long-term strategy. Sovos reported $820 million in organic sales in 2022. And finally, the latest on the alarming rate of bankruptcies in recent years. According to data provider Epic Bankruptcy, the number of Chapter 11 filings increased by 68% in the first half of 2023. Compared with the same period last year. Numbers further show that bankruptcies are plaguing small and large businesses alike. No one is immune. Many point to the COVID-19 pandemic as a big reason for all their woes, but what's really at the root of the problem? The Food Institute's managing partner and CEO, Brian Choi, recently penned an article providing his insights on what it takes for a company to succeed in these volatile times. I encourage you to take some time to read the full article at www.foodinstitute.com. Now it's time to introduce our special guest in today's edition of the FI Newscast, Andrea Fletcher. She is the brand director at Emerald and has more than 30 years of experience in growing international business. She has built a successful track record in business development, public relations, communications, and events in the US and Latin America. We at the Food Institute are proud to be collaborating with her and the whole Emerald team to present the Cocina Sabrosa Food and Beverage Trade Expo in Dallas, Texas, coming to you in September. FI's CEO and managing partner Brian Choi had a chance to chat with her all about the overwhelming influence of Latin American cuisine in the American food industry, as well as the trade show. Let's take a look.
All right, so let's get straight into it. Andrea, please share with our audience a little bit about your background and what you currently do in your role at Emerald.
Brian, I'm originally from Chile. I've been in the United States for over 30 years, and I'm currently the brand director of Cocina Sabrosa, a food and beverage trade show that's going to be happening in September 27 and 28 in Dallas, Texas.
What have you noticed from a U.S. cultural perspective on the rise of Latin American food and beverage in the U.S.?
Well, you know what, Brian, it's been interesting because, like I say, I've been here for over 30 years. And I remember when I first came to United States, I was the only people or the only person in my town that was from Latin America. Now, fast forward, we have seen an increase in the population of Hispanics in United States. And I have to say that the fact that so many Hispanics have come to this country has made this marketplace a completely different one. The Hispanic population has almost doubled in size in the last 20 years, and they have invested in their education, and this has reflected in the fact that now there are more and more Hispanic entrepreneurs. They have gained 87% of their purchasing power because of this, and is really, really interesting to see how, for example, beer Modelo has even surpassed Bud Light as America's favorite beer, or to see that when people are thinking of what food they want to do takeouts from, they're actually thinking of Hispanic food, like Pollo Tropical to order out, or Chipotle, or restaurants like that. And the other thing that is really interesting when we were doing our research is to find that 72% of the US population is actually using Hispanic products when they put their meals together. So I think that the whole environment has changed. The increase on the population has really, really increased the demand for Hispanic products in the US market as well.
Yeah, those are definitely great points on what's driving interest in Latin American flavors and ingredients. What can you tell us a little bit about the pandemic's impact on consumers wanting to try new types of products, and also the rise of media, whether it's people spending more time following their influencer chefs on those two factors in terms of increasing interest and drive towards Latin American food and beverage?
Well, Brian, I think that the use of social media in the pandemic really, really put us on the spotlight so people can look at different ideas, like the families were together, the kids got involved in making dinners together with the moms and bringing things to their attention. I know my son all the time brings me recipes and say, Mom, I want to try this. I want to do this. And because we're always looking for a way to connect, the kitchen has really become the center of attention. So it's great to see them get involved with this and come to you instead of you going to them, right? For sure, the fact that chefs are sharing nowadays recipes and how to make things has really make us experiment in this way of doing things now.
I want to shift right into the trade show business. So tell us a little bit about Emerald, the types of shows that your company produces.
Emerald produces over 160 trade shows a year. And really, our goal is to bring the industries together. We have over 40 years of experience in the food industry, and we produce the pizza show and the artisan bakery show and other events as well. And our newest one is Cocina Sabrosa, which is the food and beverage show for the Hispanic industry.
So, Andrea, what does Cocina Sabrosa mean?
Cocina Sabrosa means flavor kitchen. So bringing any of these new spices into the kitchen.
And Andrea, this year for the relaunch of Cocina Sabrosa, Emerald is partnering with companies like the Food Institute to bring new types of digital content and live stream to the show. Tell us a little bit about the importance of this type of partnership and what it means to the attendees and also the exhibitors of the show.
For sure, Brian, to us was very, very important to look at the industry as a whole and find out who the players were. Food Institute came to us, and we really felt that the partnership with you as being one of the ambassadors of the event, it was a really win-win for everybody. We wanted to be part of your suppliers in your financial community, and we thought that partnering with you or magazines like Abasto was a win-win for our event.
We're going to take a quick break, but we'll have more with Andrea Fletcher when we come back. Welcome back. Let's continue listening in on the conversation between FI's CEO and managing partner Brian Choi and Andrea Fletcher of Emerald.
Let's delve into who will be at Cocina Sabrosa from the attendees and exhibitors. Can you share a little bit more about that, Andrea?
Yes, for sure, Brian. We have had such a great response from our industry because they really felt that they needed a national event. We're going to have exhibitors from the food service side. We're going to have national distributors at our event. We're going to have retailer buyers coming. We are also having investors that are looking at the show, and manufacturers like Goya or emerging brands that are coming to Cocina Sabrosa. And from the attendee side, we have large and small food services operators in retail businesses. And we will have companies like 7-Eleven, Aldi's, Amazon's, Publix, Vallarta supermarkets that are coming to the show, as well as the operators like food service operators like Chipotle, Cisco, and restaurants like that.
What a wonderful list of attendees and exhibitors. And for my last question, a personal question, Andrea, what are you personally looking most forward to for Cocina Sabrosa?
For us, the most important thing was to build this with the industry. So we have really gone out of our way to reach the exhibitors and to reach to the attendees to see what their need is. So we're really creating an event that has heard them in delivering what they're asking for. We have a 2-day educational program with leaders from the industry that are coming to teach them about trends, about how to start your business, about what they need to do, how to do it. We are having roundtables. We have people like Al Carey that is coming to the show. We have you coming to the event to talk to us about the Latin American and how this is impacting the U.S. Industry. And we also realize that a lot of these businesses are small businesses that are taking time away from their companies to come to the event. So we have created special programs for them to connect with people that really would make an impact in the future of and the growth of their businesses. So we have created a 2-day event that is really going to expose them to the industry, that is going to have them come and experience what this the Latin American industry is in United States. So I really look forward to seeing everybody on the 27th and 28th of 2023 in Dallas, Texas.
Well, Andrea, I'm excited. The Food Institute is excited. Our audience is excited. So the link of Cocina Sabrosa will be in the description of this FI Newscast. So please take a look for that. Andrea Fletcher, Brand Director of Emerald, thanks so much for spending time with the Food Institute today.
Brian and Andrea, thank you so much. The excitement is definitely building ahead of Cocina Sabrosa, and I can't wait for the show. And now a few final notes as we look at what's coming up in the food industry in the coming days. On August 15th, the Census Bureau releases final retail sales for the month of July. On August 17th, the Conference Board releases latest numbers on leading economic indicators. And I want to mention once again that the Food Institute is partnering with Cocina Sabrosa to provide live stream coverage of its Food and Beverage Trade Expo in Dallas, Texas, from September 27th to the 28th. We'll have interviews with key figures in the industry, as well as on-the-ground event coverage. So you can go to foodinstitute.com for more information. And in an exclusive bonus, FI members can register to attend this event for free. Click on the link in the description of this newscast to find out more. That's a wrap for this week's edition of the FI Newscast. I want to remind you about next week's edition coming up on Friday, August 18th. Our guest will be Sandra Rocco, founder and CEO of Sanzo, a line of uniquely flavored sparkling waters. If you enjoyed today's show, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our social media channels. We appreciate your continued support. From the food and beverage industry's #1 source for data, news, and insights, I'm Brittany Borer. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again next week.